Hello, so greetings from Istanbul. I did it. It's now 10 p.m. here in Istanbul, and I only just finished having my procedure at 9 p.m. So just about an hour ago. Originally, I was down to have the donor hair removed on day one and return for a second day to have the donor hair transplanted. However, for reasons unknown, it was rescheduled by the clinic, not a problem, and they managed to do everything in one day. So today has been an absolute joy, but also a very tiring day as well. So they collected me from the clinic. So they have accommodation in the clinic where I was staying for the night. They collected me at 7 a.m. Took me to their other facility, Cosmetica. Did a consultation, had my blood test. I had an IV drip put in to administer drugs throughout the procedure. And then before you know it, they gave me breakfast and they were like, okay, let's get cracking. They took photos, so before, and they did the same afterwards, obviously, before I left. Had breakfast and then they shaved my head. And to be quite honest with you, when they shaved it all off, I was like, damn, actually, I look quite good with a bald head. But that's not the reason we're here. So they get started. So around 9:30 a.m. started the procedure. First of all, started administering local anesthetic. To be quite honest with you, everyone is saying that it's not painful, and it isn't. However, there is a caveat. The first hour when they are injecting individual areas, I'm talking at least probably 40 injections to locally numb both the back and the sides, so your donor areas, and then later on, obviously, for the top, to do the transplant. Those were painful. My threshold is actually quite high. I'm very accident prone. I've had stitches, I've broke bones, all that kind of thing. But I think for me, if it's on any other part of my body, I can cope with it. But when it's on your head, oh boy, when those needles were going in, I was clenching my fists with the sheer amount of pain. However, no pain, no gain. So after the first hour, they start obviously extracting. By this point, you're pretty much numb. And they put the IV drip into your arm. In my case, my right arm, because there's a big fat juicy vein there that they could hook up to. That has antibiotics, painkillers, and also, make sure that you're not dehydrated. So they put fluids into you. And after that, I mean, wow, it was amazing. I mean, these guys are so efficient at what they do. They're so highly skilled. My consultation right at the offset, they sat me down. They said, okay, let's have a look. Even under the microscope, they had a look at my hair strength and obviously the frequency and pattern that they've got. Because originally coming here, in my mind, I'd already decided that I just wanted to restore my natural hairline at the front, which obviously, I'm 38 now, has been receding. And I think the sheer amount of times that I've actually bleached my hair over the last 5 or 6 years, I think it's pretty evident that I actually damaged my hair roots and the strength of them. So yeah, originally wanted my natural hairline restored, but actually with the consultation, they enlightened me to obviously the recession, how far it goes back, and obviously the thickness. It's very difficult to see here, but I hope you can. But the thickness as we go back to it. So I wasn't felt pressured into anything. These were simply recommendations that they put forward as, professionals that have done a lot of these, more than 20, 30,000 procedures every day. I mean, that place was busy, but efficient. Every person was treated as an individual. made feel welcome, explain the whole process. There are staff on hand that speak multiple languages. I mean, there was guys in there from Russia, Poland. One gentleman had even come as far as New Zealand to get this done. This is how good Cosmetica is. Okay, that they really do know their stuff, and they make sure they do a good job. And if they're happy with it, I'm happy with it. So yeah, I went for more grafts than what I'd originally thought I'd needed, purely on the basis that I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm in Istanbul, I've had the week off work, I really don't want to have to come back again unnecessarily. So yeah, I took their advice and we've kind of filled in the gaps, obviously with my hair thickness at the back as well. You're going to have to forgive the bandages. Obviously, this is for the donut area, which thankfully for me, my donut area was thick in a lot of places. So they've had really good samples to extract and obviously fill in the top. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's a long day. I think in my mind, the reason why I originally wanted over 2 days is to make sure that I'm rested, I'm not stressed out, and that I can just take this in my stride. And I wasn't sure about the pain thresholds, and also sleeping with bandages and potential, we say that, bleeding on top. But wow, to have it done in 1 day, from early morning all the way through until late evening. As I said, I mean, these staff are so hardworking. I felt guilty because they kept on saying, okay, let's send you for breakfast now. So they do a couple of hours. Okay, let's get you some breakfast. So they've got an in-house cafeteria. So they'll sit you down, make sure you're well fed, well watered, and then we'd stop for lunch, and likewise for an evening meal. And I really felt really bad for them, because do you guys not get a break? We're fine, we're used to it. We just want to make sure we get a good job. So that's what they've done. And tonight I am not in the clinic. I am actually staying in the Sheraton, which is a 5-star hotel. It's probably about 9 kilometers from the clinic, but I can't fault it. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. The staff here, really welcoming. It seems as like this is actually normal in Istanbul for people to turn up in bandages and so forth. They even provided me with extra towels, just in case I wanted to put them on the pillows, or in case I had an accident, i.e. this thing starts bleeding. And yeah, I had my first shower and thank God they've got the hand shower, because as soon as I opened the door in the shower room and I saw that it was an overhead rainforest shower, I was a little concerned, because I thought, how the hell is this going to work? But beautiful. Got a hand one, did a shower, feeling nice and fresh. There's me. And actually, from this, you can probably see a little bit better. We're very red. Pain-wise, I mean, the local anaesthetic is probably going to last me through until the early hours of tomorrow. So it's already quite late here. So yeah, it's okay. Don't be scared. I'm so happy with what they've done. Yes, it looks like I'm an action man or a Lego figure because we've got the straight lines, but they were very helpful in explaining to me that actually what they have done is they've grafted more than what they needed, because 90% of them, touch wood, will survive, but we've got a 10% chance that some of them will obviously fall out over the next couple of weeks, which will give me that natural hairline, which is exactly what I wanted. The staff, before I left, gave me a little goodie bag. Let me just see if I can show you. So, little bag, well, I say goodie bag, actually this is your must-haves for the following few days and obviously into next week. So we've got a helpful little prompter sheet about your first week medication. I'm going to show you those, how to wash your hair. And we have the do's and don'ts. So no alcohol, no strenuous activity, Don't use scissors to cut your hair for, you know, the next 6 months. And hair colour should be used only after 6 months. And most importantly for me is lie on your back for the first week, because there's a lot of blood that's been pumping around my head, and understandably today during this procedure. So it's quite important that I lie flat and enable that to settle in, to reduce swelling, which is one of the things they did warn me about. It's not uncommon. It can happen. Don't be worried. It's to be expected. This is quite a lot of trauma in one day for your skin, but most importantly, your tissue on your head, because there's a lot of muscles on the forehead and understandably around the back of the neck. And there's a lot of blood going to that area because this is trauma and your body's saying to you, repair. So don't worry, lie flat. Make sure that there's no contact with this area that's got the donor hair in it. It will start to bleed and we are back to square one. Okay, back to the stuff that they gave me. So I've got a very nice and very handy, I did actually bring my own one, but I think I'm going to use this one tonight. Neck pillow, just to make sure that I've got no contact with the pillows on the bed. And then we've got some antibiotics, anti-inflammation. Gave me 4 painkillers, which only 4 of them. I hope that's reassuring that I'm not going to need them, but I bought my own anyway, just in case. And also we've got 2 forms of medication to take after breakfast for the next 5 days. So we are okay. But most importantly, little white container, saline solution to keep this clean and also moist and fresh, because we don't want this thing drying out too quickly because it's going to scab up very quick. So in my instructions, and the lady at the clinic, very, very helpful before I left. Tonight is different because I've just arrived and I'm going to go to sleep soon. But every 2 hours, we are to spray saline solution over the area that has obviously received the transplanted hair. And when these bandages come off, which I'm hoping is tomorrow because I've got to fly back to London, same will apply. This will reduce scarring and making sure that we're keeping any bacteria at bay that could otherwise flare up and start an infection. Who knows what's going on. So yeah, this is my hair transplant journey with Cosmetica. Can't fault them. So far, so good. Yeah, and now I'm going to try and go to sleep. So, okay guys, I'm going to check in with you again. Thanks for watching.